Your liver is the only organ in your body that can regenerate itself, but there is a limit, and when you cross it, the consequences are devastating. The problem is that your liver does not hurt. It does not warn you directly. Instead, it sends disguised signals that most people confuse with tiredness, with aging, with stress. Today, I am going to teach you how to read three signals your liver is sending you right now. And number one is something you probably feel every single day without suspecting where it comes from. I am Dr. Cesar Villarreal. In more than 15 years of clinical practice, I have seen how liver damage advances in silence for years until one day it shows up in a blood test and the patient cannot believe it. What I am going to share today may help you detect problems before they reach that point. As always, please consult your doctor for any diagnosis. Your liver weighs about 3.5 pounds. It is the largest internal organ in your body. It sits hidden beneath your ribs on the right side, working around the clock without you ever noticing. And it performs more than 500 different functions every single day. It filters every drop of toxin from your blood. It produces the bile you need to digest the fats in every meal. It stores energy as glycogen for when your body needs it. It manufactures the proteins that allow your blood to clot when you cut yourself. It regulates your cholesterol. It processes every medication, every pill, every capsule you swallow. Everything passes through your liver. Think of it as the water treatment plant for an entire city. The entire river of your blood flows through it. Everything gets filtered there. Everything gets cleaned there. If the plant works well, the city runs smoothly and nobody even knows it exists. But if the plant starts to fail, the water gets contaminated and the entire system collapses. And here's the fact that changes everything. The liver is the only internal organ capable of regenerating itself. You can lose up to 90% of your liver, and that remaining 10% can grow back to its full size in a matter of weeks. No other organ in your body does that. Not the heart, not the lungs, not the kidneys, only the liver. It is an extraordinary repair machine. But that regenerative capacity comes with a hidden cost. Because the liver constantly repairs itself, it does not complain. It does not send pain signals. It has no pain receptors inside its tissue to tell you something is wrong. It works and works and repairs in total silence until one day the damage is happening faster than the repairs. And when it crosses that limit, when the assault exceeds the capacity to recover, scarring begins. Fibrosis first, which is like small internal scars forming inside the tissue. Cirrhosis after that, which is when those scars take over the entire organ. And cirrhosis does not reverse. That is the point of no return. It is estimated that 1 inch for adults has fat accumulation in their liver without knowing it. After 60, that number climbs dramatically, nearly 4 inches 10. 40% of people over 60 are walking through life with a liver that is silently begging for help. And the vast majority have no idea whatsoever. Your liver cannot scream, but it whispers. And those whispers are the three signals we are going to decode right now, starting with number three. Number three, the mirror that speaks. This signal is literally staring at you every morning when you look in the mirror. But most people ignore it completely because it does not seem to have anything at all to do with the liver. And yet, your skin is one of the very first places where your liver sends its distress signals. I am talking about changes in your skin, subtle changes that appear gradually over the course of weeks or months, and that most people blame on aging, on the weather, on dry skin, on some allergy nobody can identify, but that are actually direct messages from a liver that is no longer filtering the way it should. The first change is itching without a visible cause, a persistent, maddening itch with no rash. It is not an allergy, it is not dry skin, there are no hives, no redness, nothing visible on the skin that explains why it itches so much. Just a constant itch that comes and goes without logic, especially on the palms of the hands and the soles of the feet, and that tends to get worse at night. This itching happens because when the liver does not process bile properly, bile salts build up in the blood and end up depositing beneath the skin. It is those salts that irritate the nerve endings and produce that phantom itch that no moisturizer and no antihistamine can touch. The second change is spider angiomas, small red veins that appear on the chest, shoulders, face, or arms. They look like tiny spiders with thin legs radiating outward from a central red dot. They do not hurt, they do not itch, they simply appear where there was nothing before. This happens because when the liver is damaged, it cannot properly process certain hormones, particularly estrogen, and the excess of those hormones in the blood dilates the small capillaries in the skin, creating those visible marks. And the third change is a yellowish tint, skin that takes on a slightly yellow tone, especially noticeable in the whites of the eyes. This is called jaundice, and it occurs when the liver cannot process a substance called bilirubin, a yellow pigment naturally produced when old red blood cells are recycled. A healthy liver processes and eliminates it without any trouble through bile. A struggling liver lets it accumulate in the blood, and your skin and your eyes give it away. Ernest, 67 years old, went to the dermatologist 3 times in a single year for an itch that was driving him out of his mind. The first time, they prescribed cortisone cream. It did not work. The second time, they switched to oral antihistamines and told him to try a different soap, hypoallergenic. He changed the soap, the laundry detergent, the bed sheets. Nothing. The itch was still there, especially at night, right when he was trying to fall asleep. He scratched until he left marks on his arms. His wife would find him scratching in his sleep at 3 inches the morning without even realizing it. She put cream on his back where he could not reach. 3 dermatologists, creams, pills, soaps, new sheets, hundreds of dollars spent, and the itch remained exactly the same. On the 4th visit, he saw a different dermatologist. This one asked the question that none of the previous 3 had asked. Has anyone ever checked your liver? He ordered a complete blood panel that included liver function. The liver enzymes, ALT and AST, were significantly elevated. An ultrasound revealed moderate fatty liver. The itch was not coming from the skin. It never came from the skin. It was coming from inside, from a liver that was not processing bile correctly and was letting bile salts flood the bloodstream and deposit beneath the skin. With changes in his diet, a drastic reduction in sugar and refined flour, elimination of alcohol, and moderate physical activity of 20 minutes daily, within 3 months, his liver enzymes dropped to near normal levels, and the itching disappeared completely. He did not need a single cream ever again. 3 dermatologists could not solve what one liver test revealed in 48 hours, because the problem was never in the skin. It was 12 inches below it, in a liver that nobody thought to check. What should you do? Examine your skin with intention, not casually while drying off after a shower. Look for persistent itching without a visible cause, especially on palms and soles. Check whether small red spider-like marks have appeared on your chest or shoulders that were not there before. Look at the whites of your eyes under good natural light, not under artificial light that distorts color. If you notice any of these changes, do not ignore them. Mention them to your doctor and ask for a liver function test. It is a simple, inexpensive blood test that can reveal problems your skin has been screaming about. That was signal number 3. But number 2 affects your stomach and your appetite in ways that most people blame on stress, on gastritis, on anything except the liver. And yet, it is one of the clearest signals when you know what to look for. Number 2, the digestive rebellion. Your digestive system and your liver are intimately connected. They are neighbors that share a wall. Your liver produces between 500 and 1,000 milliliters of bile every day. And that bile is what allows you to digest the fats you eat. Without bile, your body cannot break down the fat in an avocado, in a piece of cheese, in a fried egg. Think of bile as the dish soap for washing greasy plates. Without soap, the grease stays stuck to the plate no matter how much water you pour over it. Your body without enough bile does exactly the same thing. The fat just sits there, unprocessed, causing havoc. When the liver starts to fail, bile production gets disrupted, and your digestion turns into chaos. The first digestive signal is persistent abdominal bloating. I am not talking about the normal bloating after a big meal or a holiday dinner. I am talking about feeling inflated nearly every day, regardless of what you eat or how much, as if your stomach never fully empties. That permanent balloon sensation that does not go away with antacids, or walking after meals, or lying on your left side like someone recommended. The second signal is progressive loss of appetite. Dishes you used to enjoy deeply now leave you indifferent. Food stopped being a pleasure and became a chore. Or worse, you feel nauseous when you smell certain foods, especially fatty, fried, or heavily seasoned ones. Your lifelong favorite meal can start to actively repulse you. It is not that you are becoming a picky eater. It is that your liver is not producing enough bile to process that food, and your body is sending an urgent signal that it does not want more because it literally cannot handle what you are giving it. The third digestive signal is a change in your stool and urine that almost nobody connects with the liver. Pale stools, light in color, almost like clay or putty. The normal brown color of stool comes directly from bilirubin processed by the liver and excreted through bile. When that flow is interrupted because the liver is not functioning properly, stool loses its characteristic color. And at the same time, urine can become much darker than usual, like strong tea or dark soda, because the kidneys try to compensate by eliminating through urine the bilirubin that the liver is not processing through its normal pathway. Margaret, 71 years old, went to the gastroenterologist absolutely convinced she had a stomach problem, maybe an ulcer, maybe severe gastritis. She had been dealing with constant bloating for months that made her unbutton her pants after every meal, mild nausea that appeared 20 minutes after sitting down to eat, and an appetite that had evaporated almost entirely. She had lost 11 pounds in 2 months without trying, without dieting, without wanting to. Her husband was genuinely worried because she, a woman who had always loved cooking for the family and sitting down to eat with gusto, was now pushing her plate away after 3 or 4 bites and saying she could not take any more. The gastroenterologist was thorough. He performed an endoscopy. The stomach was fine, a colonoscopy, the intestines were fine, but when the blood work came back, her liver enzymes were through the roof. Her ALT was 3 times the normal value. An abdominal ultrasound showed advanced fatty liver with early signs of fibrosis, the first scars. The inflammation in her liver had been sabotaging her entire digestion from the inside. The stomach was the victim, the liver was the culprit. With a nutrition plan designed specifically by her medical team, eliminating ultra-processed foods, added sugar, and alcohol completely, incorporating more vegetables, lean proteins, healthy fats like olive oil, and walking 20 minutes a day, within 4 months, her liver enzymes dropped to a near normal range. The bloating subsided. Her appetite returned gradually. She regained 7 of the 11 pounds she had lost, and she went back to enjoying her meals and cooking for her family on Sundays. Her liver did not need a miracle pill or a detox tea. It needed people to stop assaulting it every day with what they put on the plate. An endoscopy, a colonoscopy, months of anguish, and the answer was sitting in an organ that nobody checked until it was almost too late. What should you do? Start paying attention to your digestion as if it were a direct report from your liver. If you are bloated nearly every day without a clear reason, if your appetite has gradually decreased without explanation, if your stool has changed color toward lighter tones or your urine has darkened without you being dehydrated, do not automatically blame it on stress, on age, or on something you ate. Mention it to your doctor. Ask for that liver function test. These combined signals can reveal a problem that has a real solution if caught in time. 2 signals decoded. Your skin is talking to you. Your digestion is talking to you. But signal number 1 is the most treacherous of the 3. It is something you probably feel every single day of your life. Something you have completely normalized. Something you blame on 1,000 different causes. On aging, on insomnia, on stress, on the weather. without suspecting that your liver could be the true source of it all. Number one, the exhaustion that never leaves. This is the most common, most ignored, and most revealing signal of silent liver damage. And the reason almost nobody connects it with the liver is brutally simple. It looks like everything else. I am talking about a fatigue that has no logical explanation. It is not the tiredness after a long day. It is not the exhaustion from one bad night of sleep. I am talking about a deep, heavy, chronic tiredness that is waiting for you when you open your eyes in the morning, even though you slept 7 or 8 full hours. You get up and feel like you did not rest at all. Your body is heavy, as if you were carrying an invisible backpack full of rocks. Your mind is foggy, slow, as if you were thinking through cotton. The motivation to do anything, even the things you used to enjoy, evaporated overnight and never came back. And the most baffling part is that it is constant. It does not come and go like normal tiredness. It does not improve on weekends. It does not improve on vacation. It is there every single day. Monday, Wednesday, Saturday, whether you slept little or slept a lot, whether you were active or sat all day. A fatigue that moves in like a permanent tenant and refuses to leave no matter what you do. Why does the liver cause this? Because when the liver does not filter toxins properly, those toxins keep circulating in your blood hour after hour. Your body has to work twice as hard to function with contaminated blood. It is like trying to run a marathon breathing through a straw. Every function in your body becomes harder. Your brain does not receive clean blood, and that is why your mind fogs up. Your metabolism slows down, and that is why your body feels heavy. The energy you should have to live your day gets spent trying to compensate for what the liver can no longer do for you. On top of that, a damaged liver stores and releases glucose irregularly. Glucose is the primary fuel for your body and your brain. If the fuel supply is erratic and unpredictable, your energy crashes without warning at any point during the day. It is like driving a car with a gas tank that has leaks. You never know when it is going to run empty. Sometimes mid-morning, sometimes after lunch, always without warning. Frank, 69 years old, walked into my office convinced he had depression. He had spent over a year feeling exhausted from the moment he opened his eyes every morning. It was not sadness. It was a brutal physical weight that would not let him function. He had gotten his thyroid checked. Normal. Anemia panel. Normal. Vitamin D. Normal. Vitamin B12. Normal. He went to a therapist. They diagnosed mild depression and prescribed an antidepressant. He took it for 3 months. It did not help at all. The exhaustion remained exactly the same, stubbornly planted there every morning like a brick wall between him and his day. His wife insisted he get another opinion. During our visit, I asked about something nobody had asked him about in detail: his lifestyle. He drank 2 beers every night and had been doing so for over 30 years. It did not seem excessive to him. It is just 2 beers, he told me. He also took ibuprofen nearly every day for chronic back pain he had been dealing with for a decade. Nobody had ever told him that daily ibuprofen was a direct assault on his liver. 2 silent attackers, steady alcohol and chronic anti-inflammatory use, hitting his liver day after day for decades, drop by drop, without rest. The liver function test revealed significantly elevated enzymes. The abdominal ultrasound showed hepatic steatosis, commonly known as fatty liver, with early signs of active inflammation. His liver had been asking for help for months, probably years, using the only language it knew: fatigue. A silent scream that everyone, including several doctors, had mistaken for depression, for stress, for age. With his doctor's guidance, he eliminated alcohol completely. He did not cut back. He eliminated it. He replaced daily ibuprofen with alternatives that were less aggressive on the liver under medical supervision. He adjusted his diet by reducing sugar, refined flour, and saturated fats, and increasing vegetables, lean proteins, and water. He started walking 25 minutes every morning around his neighborhood. Within 2 months, the difference was so profound that his wife said he seemed like a different man. He woke up with genuine energy for the first time in over a year. The mental fog had lifted as if someone had opened a window. He went back to reading the entire newspaper every morning, something he had stopped doing because he could not concentrate past a single paragraph. He went back to playing dominoes with his friends on Saturday afternoons, something he had abandoned because he could not be bothered to leave the house. It was not an antidepressant he needed. It was giving a rest to a liver that had been working under crossfire for 30 years without anyone noticing. 2 beers, 1 ibuprofen, every day for 30 years. More than 20,000 assaults on an organ that never once complained until it simply could not keep up anymore. Why is this signal number 1? Because it is the one most people feel, the one they ignore the longest, and the one that allows the most damage to accumulate while they blame it on something else. Millions of people over 60 live with the chronic fatigue they have accepted as an inevitable part of getting older. But not all fatigue is age. The fatigue of an overloaded liver has a different quality. It is deep. It is constant. It does not improve with rest. It does not improve with coffee. It does not improve with vitamins. It only improves when you remove the burden from the organ that is causing it. What should you do? If you have been dealing for weeks or months with an exhaustion that has no explanation, that does not improve with more sleep, that does not respond to vitamins or antidepressants, ask for a liver function test. Tell your doctor exactly this. I want my liver enzymes checked, ALT and AST, and if they come back elevated, I want an abdominal ultrasound. It is a simple, fast, inexpensive blood test that is part of any basic panel. And while you wait for your appointment, do an honest inventory. How much alcohol do you consume per week? Do you take anti-inflammatory medications frequently? Is your diet heavy on sugar, refined flour, and ultra-processed foods? Those 3 questions can tell you more about the health of your liver than any single symptom on its own. And that test may reveal the real reason behind the exhaustion you have accepted as your new normal, when in reality it is a distress signal from an organ that can still recover if you act in time. Let us recap. Signal number 3, the mirror that speaks. Your skin sends you direct messages from your liver. Itching without a visible cause, spider angiomas on the chest, a yellowish tint in the eyes. These are not skin problems, they are filtration problems. Signal number 2, the digestive rebellion, persistent bloating without explanation, gradual loss of appetite, changes in stool and urine color. Your digestion is a mirror of your liver health. And signal number 1, the exhaustion that never leaves. That deep, unexplainable fatigue that does not improve with rest and that millions of people blame on age, when the real culprit may be hiding beneath your ribs on the right side, working in silence, begging for help. 3 signals. 3 whispers from an organ that cannot scream. The good news is that your liver has that extraordinary ability to regenerate. If you detect these problems in time, if you make the necessary changes, your liver can regain function, it can reduce inflammation, it can heal. But only if you act before the damage crosses the line of no return. Consult your doctor at any sign of concern. Ask for that liver function test. It is the single most important first step you can take for your liver. If you are wondering which foods can help your liver recover and which ones you should eliminate from your kitchen immediately, that is exactly what I reveal in the next video. Do not miss it. If this was helpful, share it with someone who lives exhausted without knowing why. One shared video could be the wake-up call that person needed to hear. Take care of your health. I will see you soon.